The late February sun climbed over the treetops on the Redstone Plains, the 200-acre Texas ranch bathed in golden light, the lake shimmering like glass in the distance, its surface undisturbed. Wildflowers along the pasture's edge blooming in vibrant yellows and purples, their delicate forms swaying in the breeze, ancient oaks standing tall, their gnarled branches heavy with history. The air rich with the scent of cedar and damp earth, cattle lowing softly in the fields, blending with the morning's quiet. John Parker, 54, sat on the porch of the main house, his coffee steaming. The red barn and snare shed glowing in the sunlight, the burn scar on his forearm a quiet reminder of battles fought, when the crunch of heels on gravel broke the stillness. John looking up to see Karen Blake, the new head of the Redstone Development Council, RDC, strutting down his private dock, two council members trailing her, clipboard in one hand, iced latte in the other, her wide-brimmed sun hat framing a smug expression, the wildflowers enduring despite the storms that had come before. Without a greeting, Karen stopped halfway down the dock. Turning sharply, "Mr. Parker, the RDC has voted to declare this lake community property." John nearly dropping his mug. "This lake's been Parker land since 1947, private property, always has been." Karen tilting her head like he was a child. "It's accessible to the entire community, and since it enhances the aesthetic, the council has determined it's a shared natural feature." John speechless. Karen continuing, "Next week, we'll add a shared-use dock, a kayak rental kiosk, and picnic areas along the east bank, removing any fencing or no trespassing signs obstructing the view." John's voice hard. "You can't do that. You're trespassing right now." Karen smiling, slow and smug. "We're doing this for the good of Redstone. You'll still enjoy the lake, but so will everyone else." Walking off like she'd won, John standing there, heart pounding, not angry yet. That came later, the lake glowing gold in the distance, it's come a stark contrast to the storm brewing. The wildflowers along the dock trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. 2 days later, a contractor dropped off lumber, posts, and hardware labeled Community Dock Phase 1, posting a temporary permit approved by the RDC at the foot of John's boat ramp. That night, John unable to sleep, pacing the house. Its walls lined with photos of family gatherings, fishing trips, generations of Parkers pulling bass from the same dock. Karen claimed, the lake a piece of his bloodline. His grandfather, Thomas Parker, bought the land after World War II, damming the lower creek with hand tools, a mule, and shear wheel, forming the 12-acre crescent fed by springs and runoff, raising a family. Building the lodge from cedar logs, teaching John's father to fish, hunt, and respect the land. Every 4th of July marked by catfish fries, fireworks, and bonfire stories. John catching his first fish off the south dock, marrying under the willow by the west bank, Ethan learning to swim in that water, the wildflowers along the house trembling in the breeze. The plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. That's when John remembered Clay Harrison, an old friend from his wildlife officer days in Texas. Working together on nuisance animal relocations in the 90s, Clay owing him a favor. John calling the next morning, "You still run that wildlife transport operation?" Clay pausing, "What are you up to?" John, "Need a few scaly friends to remind some folks lakes aren't meant to be shared without permission." Clay laughing, "I'll be there Friday, Saturday night, just after sunset." Clay's truck backing up to the launch ramp. 3 adult alligators, Big Max, Darla, and Two Tooth, sliding silently into the water, vanishing beneath the surface, the lake shimmering faintly. It's come a deceptive promise, the wildflowers along the ramp trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Sunday brought the RDC's Community Lake Kickoff Barbecue. Balloons, lawn chairs, kids in swimsuits, Karen in a blue sundress, standing at a microphone, giving a speech about unity through nature. "Everyone, don't be shy, jump in." John leaning back in his rocking chair, sipping sweet tea. 10 minutes later, a scream tearing across the cove, a teenager spotting Darla's head above the surface. Panic erupting, chaos, shouting, Karen yelling, "Stay calm," as parents grabbed kids, running for the parking lot, John staying silent, not smiling. He'd given them what they wanted. Access to the lake, just forgot to mention its new residents, the lake not just water but his history, his peace, his bloodline, the wildflowers along the shore trembling in the chaos. the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The RDC wasn't always a threat. For years, it was just Parker land and scattered homesteads. But in 2008, developers offered John's father, then weary of taxes, a deal to carve out lots around the lake. John, working wildlife enforcement in Houston, wasn't happy, but his father sold the outer parcels. Keeping the core 25 acres, the subdivision marketed as rustic lakeside living. Early residents respectful, sharing the road, honoring the lake, no drama, until 2018, when Karen Blake moved in. A widow from Dallas, buying a large home on the ridge, wearing designer sunglasses, driving a Tesla, acting like Redstone was beneath her, becoming RDC president within 6 months, unopposed. Changing rules, trash cans hidden, mailbox colors restricted to eggshell white. John fined 4 uneven hedges, and a bird feeder too close to the road, the lake glowing silver in the dusk. It's a testament to the fight ahead, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Karen banned fishing on unauthorized parts of the lake, John's shoreline, building a bright blue RDC dock on the east end, claiming it the only legal spot for fishing or kayaking. Threatening to fine Ethan for swimming off their dock, John keeping quiet, not one for noise unless necessary. But when Karen found a clause in the RDC charter allowing the council to claim unobstructed natural features adjacent to community property, she made her move. A notice stapled to a post by John's ramp. Effective March 1st, Redstone Lake shall be designated shared community property. Fencing, signage, or barriers must be removed by March 3rd. John's name absent from the vote. Storming into the next RDC meeting at the community center, Karen sipping cucumber water behind a table. Who gave you the right? John demanded, Karen unfazed. The council passed it unanimously, John retorting, it's my land. You can't vote away my deed. Karen smiling, you're welcome to dispute it legally, but we have funds for defense. And we're confident in our interpretation, the wildflowers along the center trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. John realized this wasn't ignorance. It was calculated, the RDC thinking him too old, too alone to fight. But they didn't know he had allies, Clay arriving with the Gators, all registered, tagged. Covered under Texas wildlife agreements for private land with environmental purposes like mosquito control, technically legal, practically a statement, 2 days before the barbecue. An RDC crew marking trees, measuring shoreline, unloading lumber, John showing them his boundary stakes, county GPS coordinates, the crew shrugging, just doing what the council said, that night. John reading his grandfather's journals, the lake sacred, every fish, storm, inch of shoreline documented, running his hand over the cedar post with family initials, whispering. Time for new residents, the lake shimmering faintly, its deceptive promise, the wildflowers along the house trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken. Their roots deep in the Texas soil. Sunday's chaos unfolded like a slow collapse, the air sticky, kids' laughter echoing before the barbecue began, Karen glowing with pride, her RDC lanyard a badge. Her speech about reclaiming shared resources making her sound like the lake's discoverer, Big Mac's surfacing first, 11 feet, 520 pounds, his snout and eyes breaking the water, a boy screaming, Gator. Darla appearing near the kayak rack, panic spreading, chairs tipping, a tray of potato salad dropped, a man knocking over the grill, kids crying, Karen's dogs bolting, Karen frozen. Microphone in hand, call 911. Someone shouted, John rocking calmly, Big Mac's drifting past, unbothered, disappearing under the dock, Darla following, no one hurt, but no one swimming again. The lake glowing silver in the dusk, its a testament to the lesson delivered, the wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. That night, an RDC email accused John of endangering the community, threatening legal action if the situation wasn't remedied. John replying, double-check your property maps, attaching the county deed. Survey boundaries and gator permits. The next morning, dropping printed copies in every mailbox on his road, the community group chat erupting. The lake's not public? He has permits? Karen said the council had the right. 2 families knocking on John's door, apologizing, Mr. Carter, a retired pilot, saying, Karen told us the lake was part of the green belt. We wouldn't have supported this. Miss Paula wiping a tear. Your granddad taught my brother to fish in the 60s. I'm sorry we let it go this far. The wildflowers along the porch trembling in the breeze, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The next RDC meeting was set for Thursday. Rumors swirling, half the council ready to resign, members demanding a legal review of Karen's decisions, Karen issuing a desperate notice on John's mailbox. Cease and desist. Dangerous predators on premises. Threatening code violations. John meeting with Lydia, his lawyer, who grinned. She's got nothing. John, you've got the deed. Permits. Zoning codes, she's got wishful thinking. Thursday arriving. Karen trying to cancel the meeting for safety concerns, but residents demanded answers. Gathering in the church basement near Miller's Hill, over 40 attending. Karen opening with a shaky statement about dangerous behavior. John standing. Let me tell you the truth about this lake. Showing his grandfather's map, survey markers, deed, water classification, wildlife permits, Clay joining via video call, explaining the gator's legality for invasive species control. John dropping the final blow. The RDC has no claim to this lake. Every vote to seize it was based on lies. The lake glowing silver in the distance. Its calm a testament to the truth revealed. The wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The room fell silent, then applause. Mary Collins, a retired judge, standing. Does anyone doubt Mr. Parker's evidence? No hands raised. I move to discuss a motion to censure the RDC president for overreach. Karen jumping up. This is ridiculous. He's manipulating you. Mary cutting in. The charter doesn't override a registered deed. The vote was illegitimate. Karen snapping. I built this community. Before me, it was a mess. Voices erupting. She fined my kid for playing music. She made me repaint my mailbox 3 times. Todd, a council member, standing. We don't have legal standing. Karen, you lied. Mary proposing a no-confidence vote. 38 of 43 voting to remove Karen. The silence cleansing. Bill Carter, a veteran, nominated interim president. Will do things fairer, respectful. The wildflowers along the church trembling in the breeze. The plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. After the meeting, folks shook John's hand, apologizing, sharing memories of his grandfather. John feeling part of Redstone again, not just a man defending his land. Karen's house going up for sale the next morning, her Tesla vanishing, no goodbyes. The RDC reshaping underbill, new bylaws requiring community approval for major decisions, fines for petty offenses suspended, a committee formed to preserve the environment. Respecting property rights, the lake left alone, no docks, no kiosks, just water and trees, Big Macs patrolling like an old soldier, kids gathering with binoculars to spot the gators. John giving wildlife talks, the community planting a cedar tree by the west bank in Thomas Parker's honor. The lake glowing gold as dawn broke, the plains stretching wide, wildflowers enduring. Their roots deep in the Texas soil. Weeks later, John sat on the porch, sweet tea in hand, the lake quiet, a blue heron landing near the cove, Bill walking up with his grandson. Mind if the boy looks from the dock? John chuckling, long as he stays on it. Big Macs don't like surprises. The crew gathering that evening, coffee steaming, Ethan sketching the heron. You did it. Grandpa, John nodding. We did it, together. Frank saying, Grayson's still out there. Matt's got leads. Mary Ellen adding, we'll stand with you. Tom by the window. Ridge has a new glint, watching. The lake glowing silver as night deepened, the plains stretching wide, wildflowers enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil, the victory sweet, but the fight far from over.